What's up, everyone? This is Mark coming at you from Texas. So I recently posted on the Northwest Community RC page that I'm going to be getting a radio. So a couple weeks ago I ordered the Flysky GT3C because I wanted a basically kind of like a basher radio for all my shelf queens, stuff that I don't normally run. So I didn't really want to spend a couple $100s. I mean, I normally get, you know, some high-end stuff for as far as my equipment goes, but I didn't want to get something that I know I wouldn't be running very often. Some of my Tamiya kits and stuff, such as my most recent kit would be this Beetle right here that I still haven't built it yet. But you know, some of these kits, they're just gonna be sitting on the shelf. So I didn't want to spend a couple $100s on a radio and receivers costing anywhere from, you know, $30, $50, $60, $70. So I wanted to get something inexpensive, and after researching what radios were out there, I decided to go with the Flysky GT3C. This is the upgrade from the B model. The B model uses the 8 AA batteries, which I think was a lot of batteries to power up a radio. This model actually comes with a rechargeable LiPo battery, so that was a big selling point, which is actually one of the reasons why I got this radio. The receivers I bought from Amazon, I think two for under $20, so they were actually under $10 a piece for a 3-channel receiver. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and open up this box. I initially purchased this radio through Amazon, but the delivery date just kept on getting pushed back, and I'm assuming it was going to come from China. So the dates just kept getting pushed back as far as delivery went, and I just got tired of it. So I canceled my order through Amazon, and I decided to buy this right off of eBay. I just did a buy it now for, I think it was $47 and $10 shipping, so it came out with taxes was like $63. So it was pretty much the same price as Amazon, but I actually got this delivered within a few days. So good thing for eBay. So let's go ahead and open up this box and check it out. So purchasing, I didn't ever have really high expectations because I knew it was just gonna be, you know, I mean, I just didn't want to have high expectations, you know, in case it just turned out like crap. But after all the reviews, you know, there was a lot of positive reviews, which is, again, one of the reasons why I went with the GT3C. So let's pull this out of the box. So, you know, I've gone through a lot of radios, you know, and everything, anywhere from Spectrum to my high-end racing radio. This is a Sanwa M17. This is a almost $600 radio that I use to race. So I know the build and qualities of the radios out there, and I should be able to give you a pretty good review and kind of critique as far as how the quality is. So let's continue on with this. So inside the packaging we have an extra grip. I believe this is a smaller grip that you can change out, you know, for someone with smaller hands. Here's the receiver. Let's check out the receiver. So it's a 3-channel receiver. It's got a really long antenna. Feels very plasticky, but whatever. I mean, it just goes inside the car. Not a big deal for under $10. I'm not complaining. Antenna tube and a bind plug also comes with it. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet, but again, it comes with a LiPo battery, which was a big selling point. I did mention that in the beginning of this video. So here's a radio. We'll put that aside for a second. This is a 800 milliamp hour LiPo battery. Put this aside. So let's go ahead and put this in. So looking over the radio, I mean, it's actually pretty nice. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like a Tyco radio that you would expect from a car from Walmart or Toys R Us. I mean, it's pretty solid. I would say it's really on point with the Spectrum radios. It feels good. It's a full-size radio. It feels good in your hand. Everything feels good. Yeah, I would definitely say it's on par as far as the quality goes. Just it's on par with like the Spectrum radios. You know, radios ranging anywhere from like $100 to $200. Definitely so far, it's definitely worth it. So here's a quick look at the radio. So let's pop in the battery real quick and let's power it up. Yeah, just like that. So it comes with a micro USB charging cable right there. So everything's here, and here's the micro USB charging port right there. Let's power up. The power button is located right on at the wheel. So you just press this button right here. Powers up. So on top of the radio, this feels really good for $47. I'm actually really loving it right now. I'm looking forward to using it. But right here, you have your throttle trim, your steering trim. Make sure everything works. Your bind button, some menu buttons back end, and then you can go through your functions, make your adjustments through the scroll wheel. Enter, you just pull it down, push down. And I believe it holds up to 10 different models, and you can rename each model with 3 characters right off the screen. So here the menu, you have model, name, where you can edit, you reverse throttle, you reverse your throttle and steering, endpoint adjustments, auto brake system, your exponential, your dual rates, and your trims, your different kind of trims here. Seems pretty straightforward, but yeah, and here's your 3rd channel right here. 3rd channel trim is located right by your thumb. Your dual rate is also located right here. But so far I'm really liking it. I mean, it's for the price, antenna goes up. So the only negative thing that I read about this radio was the range. The range, it's stated at 100 meters, which is almost like the football field length. I mean, I don't anticipating driving my car further than I can see it. I mean, 100 yards, 100 meters is pretty far. But I will do a range test and kind of follow up with on this video and let you know what I think after I've tested it and have this installed in my vehicle. So until next time, I hope everyone's doing safe, and yeah, definitely a really good radio. So I'll check you all later. See ya. Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to the review of the Flysky GT3C. In the first segment, we did the unboxing, which I basically did and gave my initial thoughts of the quality and just what I thought about the radio based on appearance overall. I thought it was great. So if you missed that section, please go back and watch it. And in this segment, we're gonna basically try to bind the radio to the receiver, and then we're gonna do a range test based on this vehicle right here. This is my old trusty Rustler that I just had laying around. Don't really care for it too much, but it's good for this demo. So initially I thought that binding the radio to the receiver was going to be pretty straightforward. Typically people would just plug the ESC to power up the receiver, and then you plug in your steering servo into channel 1. But for some reason I tried doing that the first time and it didn't work. So I read through the manual, just like any typical man, right? Avoid the manual at first until you get stuck. But yeah, reading through the manual, I found that in order to bind the receiver to the radio, you would need some sort of power source. I believe preferably 6 volts. So fortunately I had a dry cell AA holder just laying around with the Futaba plug at the end. So basically, in order to start the binding process, you would want your radio to be on the correct model that you want the receiver bound to. So in this case, I have it on model number 4. So once I have that set, I'm gonna go ahead and power the radio off. And then to start the binding process, you would insert the bind plug into channel 3, and then your power source into a channel that they have labeled as VCC, which is the one on the very top. Make sure your positive and negative wires are plugged in accordingly. And once you have the power source plugged in, you can see that the red LED is flashing red, which means that the process is basically set to be bound to start the binding process. So what I'm going to do is put this down. I'm going to hold the bind button on the radio, hold it down, and at the same time I'm going to, without letting go, I'm going to power up the radio. Alright, then I can let go of the bind button, because when I look at the receiver, the LED is now a solid red, which basically means that the receiver should be bound to the radio, and it's basically good to go. So to end the binding process, I'm going to pull pull out the bind plug and then the power source. Okay, put that down for a second. I'll power off my radio. So I already have the old Traxxas receiver taken out. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my servo into channel 1, and then the ESC into channel 2. Oops, that's not the ESC. Sorry guys, plugged in the wrong cable. ESC is right here. ESC into channel 2. Okay, so now we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and power up the radio first. It's on channel model number 4. And then I'm going to power up the ESC. So yeah, it looks like we have connection. So steering is working. And then let's try the throttle. Throttle's working. Nice. So it's easy as that. Just be sure that you read through the manual to make sure that you have the process accordingly, and you have the dry cell holder, because I don't think you can bind the receiver to the radio without some sort of power source. So I hope this helped for you guys, and now we're gonna go out and do a range test. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, welcome back guys. So we're at the parking lot of my apartment complex, trying to find an area where I have decent distance I can take the Rceciver out. I try to see as far as I can take it. So you can see it's going pretty far. I mean, I'm not going to drive it to the point where I no longer am able to see the Rceciver or the RC car. So this has pretty much gone to the very end of this parking lot or driveway, so I'm going to take it back. I'm sure you guys can't see it, but it's pretty far out there. Here it comes. Alright, so the range is good. I mean, freaking A, dude. I'm actually impressed, man. For the price that you pay for this radio, $47, $10 shipping. I mean, the range is good. It's gonna be good for bashing. It's gonna be good for crawlers. So that's a pretty good, I would say 80 yards. I mean, it's far. It's maybe 70 yards. The specs say that this can go out to maybe about 100 meters, which is about the length of a football field. So yeah, range is good. No twitching. Got full control. Let's do this again. I'm gonna go fast. Got full control of the vehicle till the very end of the parking lot. No glitches. So yeah, that's the very end of the parking lot right there. So I'm gonna bring it back. So there you have it. Range is good. Yeah, I am happy. Hello again guys. So as I was walking back to my apartment, I did notice an area where I can do another range test. This area is probably twice as long, if not maybe 50% further. So let's go ahead and do the second range test. So right now we're about 100% of the initial of the first range test. Right now about 25% further. I made it. I can barely see the vehicle now. But right now we're probably like as twice the range of my initial test. So
So I'm probably far out to like maybe over 100 meters. So I'm going to bring it back. We're probably over 100 meters, so I'm going to bring it back. I mean, I couldn't tell whether or not it was glitching towards the end, but I still had full control to bring it back. I mean, as you can see, I mean, this radio is gonna work perfectly. It's not gonna have any issues as far as range and distance. It's totally gonna work. So thank you again for watching. I hope this video worked out for you and helping you decide whether or not to purchase the radio. I give this radio a 2 thumbs up. All right, y'all, take care.